is a story I'll never forget. In the year 2080, the world looked like something out of a sci-fi movie. There were giant skyscrapers, flying cars, and robots doing everyone's work. But something was terribly wrong. No trees. There were no forests, no parks, not even a tiny bush. Everyone had machines at home to keep the air clean. But outside, we wore clunky oxygen masks just to breathe. The air was too dirty. No clean water. Rivers had dried up and everyone drank lab-made water. No cows. No fresh milk, butter or cheese. Only machine-made food. No mountains. Once tall mountains were just piles of broken stones now. People were sick. People were sad. And worst of all, people had forgotten what they had lost. Meet my brother Aarav. Aarav loves exploring and making new gadgets. Oh hi! And that's me, Myra. I love painting forests and rivers. Even though I've never seen one in real life. And most of all, we loved asking big questions. One day at school, a boy laughed at us. Your family believes people used to pray to cows and rivers? What's next? Talking trees? Huh? Uh-oh. Aarav's face turned red. Was it really silly to respect nature? That evening, we went to ask our parents, but they were too busy working with robots. We checked the school and home library, but all we found were boring machine manuals. Just when we were about to give up, Dadu, our grandfather, pulled out a dusty old book from a secret shelf. On the cover were golden words. The Forgotten Earth. What is this, Dadu?
This is the story of a world before people stopped caring about nature, my child.
As Aarav opened the book, the words inside began to glow. And suddenly, whoosh! The room spun and we landed beside a mighty flowing river. The angry river, Gangama. The river sparkled under the sun, but spoke with sadness. I am Gangama. Long ago, people thanked me for giving them water. They sang songs and treated me with lots of love. But when they started filling me with garbage and chemicals, I disappeared. A silvery droplet splashed gently on Aarav's nose. And then, whoosh! The sad cow, Kamdhenu. Next, we landed in a soft green meadow, where a gentle white cow stood.
Hi kids, I am Kamdhenu. I gave milk, butter, and ghee with love. But people became greedy. They began giving me medicines and used injections to get more milk without thinking about how I felt. They stopped thanking me. And so I left.
I reached out to calm Dhenu, but she faded into mist. The broken hill, Govardhan. Now we stood before a mighty hill. Beautiful and covered with green grass. So much of greenery all around.
I am Govardhan. I protected villages from storms. I gave stone and shelter to everyone. But humans blasted me and my mountain friends for making cities and roads. So we broke into pieces.
As Govardhan Hill rumbled, the ground shook a little, and we saw mountains breaking into pieces. Oh no! Please no! And whoosh! The lost trees, Ashwatha and Tulsi. Finally, we reached a forest. Lush green and filled with fresh oxygen. We took a deep, long breath. Whispers floated in the wind.
We are Ashwatha, the sacred tree, and Tulsi, the holy plant.
We gave clean air, sweet shade, and medicines. But humans chopped us all down.
Now, instead of breathing fresh air, they wear masks.
Aarav and I held each other tightly. But all we saw were dry stumps and dust. It was all so heartbreaking. The next day at school, the same boy teased us again. Hey Aarav, hey Myra, still praying to rivers and cows? Huh? How silly. But this time, Aarav stood tall and said proudly, Maybe you are the silly one. Our ancestors were not foolish. They were wise. When they prayed rivers, cows, mountains, and trees, they were not worshipping things blindly. They were showing respect, care, balance, and gratitude for the gift of nature, for water, food, air, and shelter. The river wasn't just water, it quenched our thirst. The cow wasn't just an animal, she gave nourishment and kindness. The trees were not just wood, they gave air and medicine. The mountains were just not rocks, they gave us protection and strength. Our ancestors knew that if we care for nature, nature cares for us. Without respect, we have nothing. That's the real wisdom of our culture. The other kids fell silent. Nobody had ever explained it like that before. And so, Aarav and me started our mission. Respect nature and save the future. We planted trees all over the playground. We organized river cleaning days. We studied how to bring back real cows and natural farming. We taught everyone that respecting nature was the smartest thing anyone could do. And soon, magic returned. Rivers flowed clear and bright once again. Cows roamed the fields happily. Mountains stood tall and strong. The air became so fresh, people threw away their masks and ran laughing under the blue skies. Butterflies fluttered. Birds sang. The earth smiled. The world was so beautiful once again.